Welcome back once more to Dumfries in the south of Scotland for the final game in the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. There were 34 teams in 4 groups to start off, and now only 2 teams left to fight for the gold medal. And you see it right there. This is what we're playing for this game. So in the final, it's Sweden against Switzerland. Really exciting final. Sweden now with their 3rd gold medal game. They've got 2 silvers from 2012 and 13. And of course, Switzerland has won 4 out of the 6 mixed doubles world championships so far. So definitely a great matchup. Sweden, they beat the reigning world champions Hungary in the semi-finals, and Switzerland had a really tight game where they fought against Spain, but managed to win and made it to the final. Sweden is represented by Camilla Johansson and Per Norén, and their coach Mikael Andersson. And lineup for Switzerland: Michelle Griby and cousin Reto Griby, and of course their team coach is Al Moore. See the rules of play here in mixed doubles. You have 2 players, 1 male, 1 female, 6 stones per team, and 1 of them is pre-placed. 46 minutes of playing time and 8 ends. The players play either the stones 1 and 5 or 2, 3 and 4, but they can switch positions in between the ends. Both players can sweep, and the important rule to keep in mind is that no takeouts are allowed until the 4th stone of each end, which normally makes for aggressive play. And closing in on the arena here. My name is Sarah Carlson, and for the final time this week, nice to have you by my side, Logan Gray.
Thank you, Sarah. Looking forward to a terrific final. Certainly 2 of the strongest teams we've seen all week. Maybe Sweden stated as the early favourites, and they've been playing like it as well. They've really moved through the gears as the competition's progressed. That's Camilla Johansson holding the brush at the far end as we're ready to get this gold medal game underway with Per Norén.
Yeah, Per Norén and Camilla winning the silver in 2012, and then Per was the coach last year when Sweden lost the gold medal game to Hungary. They've been top of the stats all week, undefeated so far, and Per is going to start with a really great one. Sits for shot, dead frozen on the yellow.
Yeah, a perfect stone to start the final for the Swedes. And here are the Swiss, 4 times World Mixed Doubles champion Switzerland.
Yeah, new to the Gribys though. This was actually the first time that Switzerland actually had a competition to qualify for mixed doubles, and it was these 2 to win it. So you got to think if you get out of Switzerland, you would have a really good chance.
A little bit clumsy here to start off, and leaves a lovely pocket for Sweden to come down into. Now we're going to get our first look at the Swedish female player Camilla Johansson. Just looking for something in the 4-foot, in line with the pocket between the 2 stones on the tee line. Well, still a pretty good shot, but maybe a little bit heavy.
Yeah, I would have maybe liked to have that yellow one a bit closer. And it's Reto Griebe that's going to try and find the inside of the edge, played by Camilla.
He must have run out of clean socks this week.
Well, it's a long week. I'm sure they've played a lot of games. So that shooter of Reto Griebe is really in a great spot. Apparently I'm thinking of coming on the outturn side, but I don't think I'd want to leave that there if I was Sweden. There's not a lot that Switzerland can do on the outturn. However, on the inturn, that yellow is very useful.
Well, I think they would like to get their stone across the face of this red stone that they're trying to freeze. I'd leave it on the inside so that if Switzerland were to drive in the other yellow, well, this is a mistake. I just wonder if the ice conditions are a little bit different on each side of the sheet. Maybe a little bit less play on that outturn side.
Ja, leg ganz dran. Ich will so. Hinge 8, hinge 12. Hinge 12. Ich will schon, dass der da rausnimmt. Ja, ist gut. Ist er wirklich nur da nehmen? Ja.
A good opportunity now to use the yellow one that we spotted earlier. Just hit the outside. You don't need to hit it very hard, but it's definitely going to push the red one off the shot position, and it won't be frozen anymore.
Yeah, and also going on at the moment, the bronze medal game between Spain and Hungary. Hungary, the defending champions. They were eliminated earlier in our featured game by Sweden, and Spain making their second appearance in the bronze medal game. They qualified for that game in 2010 in Chelyabinsk. Sergio Vez and Arantxa Garcia. They came in fourth on that occasion, so they'll be looking to try and take home their first medal.
And well, it was a good attempt. I think they needed a bit more pace with Reto Griebe's previous shot, because everything is now just in behind the guards.
I think it will just be a guard here for the Swedes.
Oh, she's calling this one heavy, and I don't think you want to be heavy with this one.
Well, maybe it doesn't change things too much.
No, but I think they needed to take that tap away from the Swiss, because I believe it's, oh well, they need to curl quite a bit past the guard, but I do think it's there with just back T weight.
Ja, ich frage mich, ob du nicht besser würdest liegen, wenn du nur da würdest bleiben. Ich glaube, er bleibt so oder so am Zweier vorne.
They could run the red stone at the top of the screen back onto the yellow.
Yeah, and they'd open everything up if they didn't make it.
Komm schon schnell schauen.
So Reto's going to come down and have a look. Of course, there are time clocks, so you can't waste too much, but it's also really important when you're playing a shot that you know what it looks like.
Oh, I think it needs to be the run back.
Nein, würde ich nicht jetzt schon spielen. Würde ich eher aufmachen.
If you play the run back and you miss it, then at least Sweden have to put that stone back. They can't really make any aggressive plays at the moment.
Ja, er kann kein Second legen im Moment. Ich kann kein Second legen.
And if they don't manage to put the guard back in exactly the right spot, then they might have an easier shot to score a couple, maybe even more.
Ja. Aber was jetzt schon?
Wenn der Runback nicht kommt, und offen ist, wäre auch nicht so schlecht. Eben da können wir auch noch mit denen da.
Looking at the run back now, but I think you'd rather want to throw it straight down into the yellow.
Ich finde ihn nicht schlecht.
Hier dran.
Echt gerade, ja.
Well, absolutely, but if you're going to miss it, you probably want to miss it on the right-hand side of the stone as we look at it. If you hit anywhere on
Offen ist es schon gut.
the inside, on the centre line side of that red stone, then you're just going to jam on the other red and leave a centre guard. So important for the Swiss to know what their margin is here.
Gehen wir noch ein bisschen?
Nee.
Ja. So ist gut.
I'm not sure what getting rid of the back red is really going to do them either.
Ja, ja, ja. Ja! Oh, oh, oh.
Didn't change a whole lot, but get rid of some backing.
Yeah, it just looked like he hooked it a little bit as he was releasing the stone. So the Swedes can really only just throw a guard here. I don't see too many other options. To make a good one, it could well leave a big angled raise for the last stone for Sweden. That yellow just over there on the left hand side, they could maybe run that in. That's the stone just played by Reto Gribi.
Hur lång? Ja, den är framför i alla fall.
So Sweden is playing the guard, and
Antikant-lina är bra.
Hungary picked up a score of 1 in their first end against Spain.
That looks like a good guard.
Det är bra där.
So they could the Swiss could run the guard down again, or they could go for this angled raise with a yellow.
Sicher? Wenn ich ihn hier treffe?
Doesn't look like there's too much risk in playing the angled raise. In playing the run back.
Yep. Oh, kommst du selber? Selber ist gut. Willst du Pause oder vorhin?
I think they're going to try and roll in off of the
Jag
red.
vet att det är så Ebba.
Okej.
No, they're playing the run back again.
Well, you've got to think they would be extremely unlucky to remove that yellow from there somehow. Definitely worth a shot here. You know what? If they hit it really good, they might be able to score as many as 4.
I think they would need to throw some weight at this though. See what she can do, Michelle Greeby. And oh well, she did well to pick up 1.
Well, actually, if that had not past that top yellow, then they could have chopped it. They could have cut it between the two reds just about and given up a steal.
Yeah.
So a great shot though, and a score on the board in the first end for Switzerland, and 1 end into our gold medal game. Switzerland 1, Sweden 0.
So we're treated to a good start, and well, so are these two coaches, Mikael Andersson and Al Moore. It's now Greeby's turn to play this freeze. Remember, she's just thrown a big weight run back, and now this very delicate draw is being demanded of her. Looks a bit short.
Oh, I think Sweden will be able to come around that one. And if they could get one to the top of the forefoot, that would really give them good command of this second end.
Yeah, top of the forefoot is a great spot. All the way down might be a bit too deep if Switzerland can get a really nice freeze, but that top yellow could actually be a problem for Switzerland in that case, because it's just making everything so much tighter.
Kort.
And calling this one short.
Oh, I think it's just a little bit slower on that side of the sheet, a little bit less play over there,
Speak Swedish, Logan?
and the teams will have to adjust.
It's just what he said.
Well, we kind of thought that maybe from the first end. There was a couple of stones that came up light on that side of the sheet. Really is part of the game, is understanding that and remembering the stones that have been played before and what paths that they've taken down the ice.
And as Reto Greeby managed to figure it out.
Yeah, pretty close. Really nice shot there by Reto Greeby.
So Sweden gonna try another guard or another draw. See if they can get a shot. A second one in there. It's looking quite tight.
Yeah, the other option would be just to kind of half check that yellow stone at the top of the forefoot. That's the real problem stone for Sweden at the moment, the one that's making the scoring area that much smaller.
Right.
Oh, see that stone just about ground to a stop there. I think they're looking at the straight rays on all the yellows up the centre line here. Would be spectacular if it came off.
Yeah, but if you're ever not making it, then you're just going to open everything up for the Swedes. I think all of the yellows are in a great position for the Swiss right now. And if they can keep Sweden to scoring one, they have the hammer right back, and it's quite good for them.
Well, they could throw a guard on that red stone just played by Camilla Johansson.
Yeah, just leave everything for Sweden to try and make a move if they want to have a bigger score.
Ja, nog met 9. Grad wäre auch nicht so schlecht.
Michelle Greeby is now eyeing up the red-red combination. That's a dangerous one.
Yeah, but I don't mind the nose hit on it though.
No.
That also works. That takes away that angled raise for Sweden.
Yeah, the nose hit is really good. I think the slash is a bit tricky because it's not far away where you take the yellow one off instead.
The only thing here by playing a hit instead of a guard, if you hit this on the nose, then Sweden can then run it in. Oh, actually rolls to the centre line. Oh, I wonder if we'll see Sweden open this up at any point. Quite content to continue to play around the centre. I think they know they've got a safe score of 1 here at the moment, as long as they don't do anything daft.
So, Camilla came up a bit short with her last. Now, has she got the weight? No, calling this one short as well. And it's also wrecking on the guard.
I might not have been that far away for speed. The line, more of a problem there for Camilla.
Kan je være rødt slag? Ja. Jeg må stå nær guardspiller, men nu.
Well, they're going for the kind of the edge of the button here. So could just throw a guard on that side now. Very much looks like it's only going to be a score of 1 for Sweden, and the only way it's going to be more than that is if Switzerland kind of leave this side of the sheet open.
So they have left the guard. Doesn't look like it's going to be easy to get a second one in here. Really doubt that there's a gap there.
I think they could come round on the out turn, not maybe an easier shot for the same result.
Ja. Du kan testa på hålet då. Va?
Hellre med alternativ då går i den så här.
So trying to come in the gap, I just think that they're not really seeing a shot, so they're just trying one here. It's could there be a draw in?
I'm kind of thinking that the out turn might be an easier shot for the same result here. See how it goes though. Certainly doesn't look too much more than a stone's width between those two reds that they're going to try and steer their way through. So Camilla with her final stone of this second end. Oh, must be pretty close.
Yeah, they found the gap. Now where are they for weight? That's a beauty to sit to.
Ja.
Värsta är att den liksom
Oh, a super draw. And
drar dem efter så
Michelle Greeby is going to have to pull out a really good one to follow that. All just came together there, the line and the weight. Did just pop the shooter stone back of the tee line, so if Switzerland could ever just wiggle one in there, then it could be very hard to get rid of.
Yeah, if they follow this path down, then I think they're going to steal. I can't see how Sweden ever gets rid of a stone like that.
So it's all or nothing here for Switzerland.
Don't really want to remove the guards and make it easier for Sweden to draw again, though. This one hanging really wide.
Oh, where's the red going here?
Oh, look at this.
Well, they've popped it right onto the button. That is an absolute disaster.
Kommer vi hit så.
Not even close there from Switzerland, and Michelle Greeby finding the funny side of it, but I don't think she can quite believe what just happened.
Oh, it looked for so long like Sweden was going to get one, and that there were no ways in that they could get more, and now all of a sudden, lying 3, Panarin just going to go for it one more time. Could could even get 4 out of this.
Final stone of the second end. And needs to be fully in the forefoot. Do have backing here.
Nej, nej, nej,
Looks like it's a little bit wide at the moment.
Ja, men den ligger på också.
Calling it short, and it's also on the guard. So, not going to be 4, but it's still score of 3. And what a turnaround for that in that end for Sweden.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be more than happy with the outcome. With just a couple of stones to go, it looked like it was only going to be a score of 1, but Sweden off to a great start, and now leading Switzerland by 3 shots to 1.
And Spain got 2 in the second end against Hungary, so they're now up 2-1. Of course, playing for the bronze on the sheet next to ours.
Well, just to watch something, just watch Reto Grebe. We saw him in one of the games earlier in the week. As soon as things started to go wrong, he didn't seem to deal with it that well, so and almost kind of gave up a little bit. Here's Parnaren playing 78%.
Yeah, top of the stats for the week. Great numbers for mixed doubles. Remember, you don't have your 2 sweepers like you normally would in a curling game.
Well, and another terrific start. He doesn't miss many of them, does the Swede. And Switzerland will just have to regroup a little bit here. Michel Grebe playing a very solid 69% for the week.
So just put too much weight on that. Leaves the 2 red back forefoot. And of course, back forefoot is not really where you want to be in mixed doubles, because it's not the way to put pressure on your opponent.
Oh, absolutely. If you've got your stones in front of the tee line, it means the opposition have to move them past the tee line to get theirs into a scoring position. Camilla Johansson playing 75% for the week. They really have been so consistent, the Swedes, and like as Parnaren said in one of his interviews the other day, they've just got better and better as the week's gone on.
Yeah, I just said that they're having a lot of fun and they are really growing with every game.
Sweden lying 2 on the button at the moment. Reto Grebe having a good week as well, playing 74%. I think that'd be a lot higher if he hadn't hogged so many stones this week.
Yeah, he's had a couple of unfortunate mistakes with the rules. This one's starting to look really good though, if he can come all the way down here in the good line. That's an amazing shot. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, really good stone placement there by the Swiss male.
Bara hit då. Hellre där.
Ja.
Putting another one on here. Also saying it's okay to leave it short, because that yellow one is so useful.
igång.
Känns bra i fart.
Ja, curla. Curla massor. Curla massor. Curla massor. Nej, curla massor.
Men kom!
Kom igen då. Kom igen då. Räcker, räcker, räcker.
Well, they're setting a high standard, aren't they? The two teams.
Well, it is the gold medal game in the World Championships, so I would hope so.
Wir sind sicher second, aber ich habe das Gefühl, wir sind nicht shot. Das ist auch so.
Might not be a bad shout just to try and rumble things around on the other side of the sheet. Just tap that redstone back on the tee line would be quite a nice shot.
Very good.
Well, let's see if Reto Gribi gets to grips with this side of the sheet. So I'll make a super intern freeze, but will he make the necessary adjustment for this slower side?
And it's, well, it should be a bit more difficult to make the adjustments without the sweepers as well. It's hard to just sit in the hack and decide for yourself how much slower it is. But that's a nice one. Just taps the red one back a bit. Still leaves his own in a good place.
Well, I wonder if Sweden would consider slashing this red into the pocket between the two yellows. The problem is you're not really going to remove any reds. Sorry, you wouldn't really remove any yellows. You might just be able to punch that one at the top of the button away a little bit. Maybe they feel like they can see enough of this yellow to spring them both. I certainly can. Look at that. See probably a good 2/3 plus of the stone.
And don't need to hit that much.
Om med. Ingenting. Om med. Japp, japp, japp.
It looks like they're quite close.
Really good shot. Excellent shot there from Camilla Johansson.
Team's just trading perfect shots right now.
Ja.
Han får ju stöd den där nu i linjen.
Det är bra. Där. Aber dann ist nicht mal Shot. Ich würde den noch mal legen.
Looks like the out-turn draw called here. A tough shot. Actually, their problem here is that red stone at the top of the forefoot's in such a good position for being raised up. It's really difficult to find a good spot for this stone.
Yeah, even if they make it, it's not going to make it so much difficult for the Swedes.
Well, can they get it down there? They cannot. And Sweden now lying 2 with 1 to come.
Jag kan inte göra någonting.
I think Parnaren just stalking around the house trying to work out
Så ska man ju liksom bara
what's the easiest way for Switzerland to score.
Ja.
Han kan inte göra någonting med den heller. Eller hur?
So it doesn't look like they've got masses of options at the moment.
Om vi skulle vicka precis inte den då. Det är nästan sämre va? Om vi vickar in och petar den lite, då kan de inte göra någonting där va?
Ja, vi spelar en vanlig vick in här.
Ja.
Sådär.
Deciding to roll in off of this.
Normal bara.
Ja.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the right shot to play. If they could ever get another one onto the button. It'd be difficult to see how Swiss can score.
Hot! Hot!
Well, comes right around the world, and Sweden lying 3 here.
Yeah, but did he leave Switzerland a shot now? You don't think so?
I don't think so. One thing I was worried about there was that they played the hit and roll to the side of the button, and it just made the tap so much easier. They've actually moved both of them over a little bit, which is quite nice. You see, they can't just tap up that Yellowstone that's in the middle of the 8 foot there. Difficult to see how Switzerland are going to score. They could just remove these 2 reds at the back of the tee line and give up one. Might be their best option. Certainly can't afford to give up more than one.
No, that would be disastrous.
Daar ga je nee, hoor.
Hört deiner. Wenn du nur den nimmst, ist 2, können wir auch noch leben damit, oder? Am 3 wäre.
Vor der Karte ankommen bringt es dir auch nichts.
Hä? Hey, da kommst du nur durch.
Wie schnell? 7?
Wie lange willst
8, 7?
Ja. 8 ist gut.
Well, it looks to me like they're just playing a double to give up one, but they're playing a very difficult double to do that. It looks like there's a far easier one for me just to slash the 2 on the tee line, and also there's so much more risk with this stone as well. If they were to ever catch the guard, then they're going to give up a steal of 3, so really have to get tight to the guard to make this. They could hit that one just behind Reto's brush.
Yeah,
Half
and they would
stone.
both go.
Spill 2 of them. Much easier way to give up one. Fraught with danger here for Michel Grebe.
Yep, yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, that was always a risk. Does well to get one of them out, but I think a tactical error there by the Swiss is going to cost them 2 shots, and Sweden, as we've seen all week, dominating this gold medal game, now leading by 5 shots to 1.
Yeah, it's they're really playing so well, and that double made by Camilla set them up great. Switzerland's gonna have problems with coming back in this game. And Spain, they got away with a steal in the 3rd end to now lead 3-1 against the reigning world champions from Hungary. Rodkes played a really big weight to rumble basically everything around, but not enough to score. And here you see the Swedish women. They lost the bronze medal game in the seniors to USA just a little while ago, but now they're cheering on Per and Camilla. So this is where mixed doubles gets a bit frustrating when you're up with 5 points and you're not allowed to hit anything.
Kjalla.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're playing traditional style of curling, then you'd want to just have nothing in play, but you don't really get that option in mixed doubles. You really need to continue to play aggressively. Another good draw from Parnaren, finds a good spot.
Man får ju vänta lite då.
Switzerland are going to try and bump that red back, I think.
If they can, well, come up to nose or even inside and bump it back, they're going to be sitting really good.
Yeah, actually, if they could play a shot around about the nose where they move the Yellowstone off the back of the button too, that would be quite a good result for them.
Okay. That's good.
Starts to make that scoring area so much bigger. We've talked about it all week long, how important that is in mixed doubles curling.
And the last time she drew the in-hand here, I think she popped it a little bit, and I think she did that now as well. There's one well heavy all the way through. And it's not going to help when you're trailing by 4.
Yeah, definitely not erring on the correct side on that one. A freeze would have been absolutely fine at this stage.
Ända ner då.
Ja.
Kom igen. Kom igen. Kom igen.
Yes! Jättekort.
Well, big sweep here from Naren and Johansson. He's not going to get it past the guard though.
Ja, jag vet inte.
No, and even I think overlaps them a little bit.
Hitåt har vi inte spelat den sidan.
Nej, det kan vara det då. Lengi. Neem nog even tie. Zie richtig.
Lengi, gå upp, vroeg gleich.
Tie.
Vroeg, vroeg.
Right, they're trying to follow. And it looks like this one's a bit short as well. We'll make it into the top 12 foot though.
Den här sidan var nog lite lättare.
Hello, Lang, no.
It looks like Reito's still having a good time out there, enjoying his first gold medal game experience on the international level. But they are trailing by 4 shots. And they've got a lot of work to do to get back into this game.
Fart.
Bak 4.
Kala. Kala.
Bak 4.
Kala. Aldrig röra. Aldrig röra.
It's looking a little bit pacey from Camilla. Just doesn't catch enough of that red to move it into a short position.
Ja, det är okej.
Varsågod.
So that's really the first end we've seen a lot of misses.
Lite ut på linjen för att jag ville ha snitt.
Vart staat tappen?
Yeah, just not really reading the weight of the ice right.
That's good.
Either too short or just a bit too heavy.
Ich bin nicht sicher, ob wirklich, das ist nicht wahnsinnig guter Shot.
Nee. Ja, nee, is een beetje heikel. Wie weet zit die aus Rang? Was ist der vor der 4. Rang?
Und der Rang ist immer noch der vom Anfang.
Wollen wir mal aufmachen?
Ja, wenn wir aufmachen, spielt er eh den.
Ja, aber der ist
Oh,
mal
they're just worried about this tap, aren't they? They're worried about this
Können wir dann wieder nicht mehr
stone at
fluchen?
the top of the 4 foot that Michelle Grebe wanted to move at the start of the end. I don't mind this call to open things up. There's a lot of danger in there for Switzerland at the moment.
Wat was er nou?
Ziemlich hoog. Phương Mai kan man in now.
Oh, is goed.
He really gives it quite a heave when he lets it go. Some throw one earlier on that was travelling down the ice with a vapour trail and perhaps sacrificing a little bit of accuracy with that one.
And didn't really change much at all, except got rid of one of his own.
Ja.
Well, I'd quite like to see them come down on the other handle here, come down on the out turn and just get that Yellowstone in the button covered from all angles.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't need to work for a steal. They just, if they can limit Switzerland to scoring one, it's looking great for them.
Yeah, and the thing about this shot by playing the tap is that you can never be entirely sure where the shooter's going to go, especially when you've only got one sweeper. So they could well leave an opportunity even if they play a really good shot for Switzerland here. Well, does enough to move it. Who's lying shot stone?
It could still be yellow, I'm not sure. But what it does is it's opening up the scoring area for the Swiss as well.
Danke.
Where is shot? Is it?
Mer.
I think I would definitely have liked to
So.
see them play the out turn draw there. Well, Reto Greavy certainly needs to cover that Yellowstone at the back of the forefoot.
Gå länge.
Somewhere just far enough to lie shot position would be good. And quite a nice draw from Reto Greavy.
Bara in.
Ja, vi bara knackar in nu.
Så.
Ta lite mindre. Där ja.
So what next for Parnaren?
He's going to attempt the same tap that Camilla just tried.
Well, they should know this path pretty well. We've seen a few stones travel down here now. Should be bringing this side of the sheet up to speed after it being slower at the start.
Kom igen då. Kom igen.
Oh, he's not hit enough. It's going to be a draw for 3 here, and maybe this is exactly what this game needed.
Yeah, I think so. And I think you were so right, Logan, when you were calling when Sweden played a tap the first time. If they just come around the out turn, they would never be in this sort of trouble.
Släpp mig här till jag. Upp nu. Kom maar, hou 4 voor ze.
So they should know this path, know this speed. Reto did just throw it. It's just exactly the same shot again. But what a lift this would give the Swiss going into the half-time break after a pretty one-sided first half. If they could get in at half-time with only trailing by 1, I think that would be a terrific result for the Swiss. So Michel Greavy immediately down with the brushes, and Reto coming out to help. This has got a long way to go. Can they get it there?
Looks like they're going to be close, but they're going to need to work.
Oh,
And just short.
yeah, just came up 1 stone too short there. A great sweep by the Greavies,
2 yellow.
but only 2. Could have been 3. And at half time, it's going to be Sweden 5, Switzerland 3. The two teams are going to get a short break with their coaches, and we'll be back shortly for highlights of the first half before getting the second half of the gold medal game underway.
Yeah, and Spain also managed to squeeze another steal in the house, just full of yellows once again. It was a red counter. They are leading the bronze medal game 4-1. First half of the gold medal game, and in the first end it was Switzerland with the last stone. Michelle Greeby played this run back to give them a score of 1. A great result, and they are off to an early lead. In the second end it was Camilla Johansson looking at this quite tight gap in between the guards. Yep. Comes down with a really beautiful draw and manages to sit 2 on a forefoot. And then it was Michelle Greeby trying to follow. Got a little pop on her in-turn there, and actually makes this mistake of tapping the red one all the way in. So Sweden scored 3 in the second end. In the third end, once again, Camilla Johansson on the hack, and she's looking at 2 yellows. Makes this really great double to sit 2, and it was also Sweden that stole 2 points in that end to take a 5-1 lead. Finally, in the fourth end, just before the halftime break, Reto Greeby had a chance to come around here. Played a beautiful draw that later on allowed them a score of 2, and closing the gap on Sweden, now trailing 5 shots to 3 after 4 ends. We are back with the second half of the game, and it's once again Sweden that's going to have the last stone advantage. This is the final of the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championships 2014, played between Switzerland and Sweden, and this is Michelle Grebe for Switzerland.
Ja, bra, skjut, kjøp. Wow, nå må vi bli bra. Riktig kjør, riktig kjør. Det er lenge.
Lenger skår.
One skate, over. Riktig bra, riktig bra. Wow, wow. Go, go.
So she starts off with a perfect stone.
Yeah, that is a perfect stone. Michelle Grebe setting Switzerland off on the right foot here in the fifth end.
Yeah, they could really use a steal or two.
Yeah, but something tells me that the Swedish side, they aren't going to give any freebies.
No, Panarin coming down here, and I think he'd like to tap the yellow a bit to free it up. But then again, we have seen them starting to guard and play freezes in situations where they have been up before.
That's a fantastic shot from Panarin.
Yeah, it's great. Frees up the angles, creates a bit of air.
So here's Reto Grebe, the Swiss male player. Oh, also playing a nice come around here. Maybe just loses the line a little bit. I think they would like to just hit that stone a little bit higher and leave an angle, but still in good shape here. Well, I wonder if Sweden would ever consider just peeling the guard here.
I would really like to see the centre guard come off now. They have the last stone. They're up by 2. That centre guard is really just helping the Swiss. So they're actually going to run it down. I think it's rather just split it out to the side, peel it off.
Well, the one good thing about running it down is that you are, even if you do remove the 2 stones on the button and leave Switzerland lying, then the forefoot's going to be opening up for them to get a score here in the fifth end.
Yeah, I would still worry about leaving a centre guard though.
So let's see how this works out. I'm not too sure about that one.
No, and she's still left her shooter on the centre line.
Yeah, well, the good thing for Sweden after that shot is that it's a little bit less claustrophobic in the forefoot anyway. So Switzerland lying here, and they're going to try and freeze this thread at the back of the forefoot to lie to. Another option could be to play a little tap, but they would only be lying 1 by playing that shot.
And will come to their own yellow.
Ja, eller du får ju dra hit också.
Nej, jag kan gärna ställa tajten.
Considering the draw, but Camilla quick to the side. She wants to throw a takeout. I think it's probably wise. A bit of an easier shot, and also remove some yellows.
Normal.
Ja. Bli lite dämpad.
Japp! Ren. Japp! Rent. Japp! Japp! Janet! Janet!
Trying to get a little roll in. And maybe not that much of a roll.
Yeah, it just slips off the underside of that Yellowstone at the top of the forefoot. Doesn't stick around.
Jag tyckte jag låg lite
Could well be
ute.
the same shot again here for the Swiss.
Gelijk ut, tenminste zo hè.
Ja, ik heb eens nu mee is.
Ja.
Kjær dosse
Hang
gezien.
goed.
Achtung, ja.
Nur lang, Länge. Hängen 4.
Ja! Zie je! Best zie je. Als je de voren erop
Oh, as this over curling, they don't want to move that stone at the top of the forefoot.
Oh, and he's done it again.
Just not taking enough ice at the moment. And that stone wide open for a takeout for Sweden to lie to.
Ja. Är det okej att dutta lite då?
Ja.
You're playing the freeze though.
Ja, det vette fasen.
Think you'd at least want to push this
Dutten
back.
ska ju vara så här Utsvalla.
Ja.
Ligger han kvar här så finns det ju... Spela på hit. Eventuellt styra lite om farten finns.
Ja.
So they're just playing the freeze, and if they have a bit more weight, then they're going to try and get a little roll in. I'm surprised that they would leave a yellow shot stone. I think they might see Switzerland just guard this. That could be them set up to steal.
I think as well, this is quite a difficult shot to get absolutely perfect. Much easier just to play a control weight takeout and lie to.
Lite långt ut. Kom med. Japp! Rent. Japp! Japp! Janet! Hela vägen!
Well, it didn't look like a lot of ice to me. Certainly, it looked like ice for more of a tap than a freeze. So that's a bit of a disaster there for Sweden. And the real chance here for Switzerland to get right back into this game if they can find a way to steal here in the fifth end.
Tapping that would set them up nicely, but
Ja, we moeten alles
if they were ever not to make it, then Sweden has a chance to score. Sweden doesn't have a lot if Switzerland guards the shot stone. But they're going to take a little risk here, which probably is a good idea since they're trailing by 2.
Yeah, I got to say I like this call. Definitely the shot that would put the most pressure on Sweden. So. So Switzerland's last stone of this fifth end.
Ja, busje. Jep.
Just trying to pop it a few inches up to the top of the button.
Jep. Go on!
We saw Reto lose a couple on the tight side here. How does this one look? Big scrub here by the Greavies. They've got a really good line. Oh, terrific shot. Really, really good shot there by the Swiss. Have they left something off this wide yellow?
I think there might be a shot there. At least to cut them down to 1. They could even score one with this.
Yeah, I don't think there's really an opportunity to score anything more than that though. Michelle needing a little breather after that. Maximum effort sweep. Well, I just wonder if There might be a shot for two here if they hit this yellow stone quite thin and go into the top side of the yellow. The rotation might spin it past the other red.
Need to make sure that they hit it thin though. Anything on the inside and they're going to be fine.
Well,
oh, and
a great
they've not
effort.
done enough.
That was a great effort, but it's going to be a steal of two. And the Swiss are rewarded for their bravery in going for that tap. And how quickly things change in a game of mixed doubles. 5 ends played, Sweden 5, Switzerland 5.
2 yellow.
Ja, jag vet inte om jag var för ivrig att skjuta centern när man hamnar i det här läget. Ja. Man ska inte behöva få en sån här sista sten.
Nej. Men det är ju bara så här liten bit till. Som skulle ha kall och så hade vi varit klar.
Yeah, and well, Per Norén saying that it's not the last shot they should have had left, but all comes down to what they were calling. I think even when they choose in the beginning, when they chose to run back the guard rather than just taking it off, they were setting themselves up for trouble.
Absolutely, we were saying that earlier on about peeling the guard. Quite a strong Swiss support here in the ice bowl, and they'll be more than happy to see the scoreboard now than maybe half an hour ago.
Här står det. Wow.
Veel blad, wie lang?
Ja, is erg lang.
Brems.
Ik hoffe, er is aan het osten, een bremsen, dat weet niet. Achtung. Zet nog na.
Knor lang.
Zet na, Lengi, zet na.
Well, line just a little bit high at the moment.
Go.
Really needs this to sit down. Well, really good weight, but just a stone high for line. A chance here for Sweden to move these stones around.
Yeah, Per quite often when they have last stone, he plays to tap with his first, and I think it's a smart call because straight away it's setting them up quite nicely. This one's really curling and does not roll the shooter to a great spot. It's just a huge pocket there for the Swiss to come down to. And that's an opportunity not taken advantage of.
Well,
leaves the gap there, or the backing there, sorry.
Yeah,
Logan.
and they could have come down the in-turn there as well and play on the reds rather than play onto their own yellow. So important to call the easiest shots that you can in mixed doubles. And maybe the Swiss a little bit guilty of not doing that on that occasion.
Okay.
I think the speed of the ice is pretty equal across the sheet. We've seen the play pretty well spread around. Well, this is a little bit short from Camilla, but still in a useful spot.
Coming this way, they seem to have so much more trouble finding the right weight.
Ja.
Die is goed.
Wow.
Nog te gelijk.
Wow.
Länge gut, länge gut.
Åh, nyt, vasta. Wow.
And have they managed to do a better job now? They certainly have.
Well, that stone's going to be an absolute nightmare to remove for
Prova
Sweden.
skjuta den här på den där.
It's going to take them at least 2 shots to get
Träffar
that
du
out
det
of
här,
there.
där det är bara våra egna som ryker. Då vill jag hellre att du spelar den här knack.
Ja, gör det då.
Ja, men vi får inte riskera för mycket tycker jag, eller? Spela precis igenom.
Ja,
Gå nära garden.
So call is to come close to the guard. Wait just through the rings and tap everything back like the red one onto the yellows. A hard shot. And if they ever just clip this open, there's still just so many great freezing opportunities for the Swiss team.
Yeah, that was an absolute stinger by Reto Gribi. Well, Sweden are going to have a lot of work to do if they don't want to concede another steal here.
Rent! Var rent!
vill hålla igång!
Nej! Kom här! Ja!
Oh, this is tricky. Camilla is calling it short, and Per wants it to curl, and it's really curling well because it's short, of course.
Well, at least it opens up that red stone. They can make a play on it. But that yellow is just in a perfect spot.
Yeah, definitely.
That short stone is going nowhere from any angle.
Guard, guard. Länge gut, länge gut.
Du ser på där det
I
sitter.
think it's in such a good position at the moment. The only way it's going anywhere is if you're playing from the other hack. Like as in the hack behind the house.
Okej.
I think our umpires would have something to say about that.
Vi måste inte de sista upptäckta play. Ja, så är det.
Well, just the guard, I think. Doesn't need to be anything too fancy right now. They've got an absolute beauty in there at the moment.
Kör in nästa. Visst lägger. Du nog lite se.
Länge stryk.
Se nog lite så
Slöj
kan.
nummer 2.
Fiber girl lite på.
Oh, but there, they just got that past. I guess it was okay, but
Yeah, just sneaked it over, but
I'm not sure it's much of a guard actually,
Hit och bara rör lite grann.
Ja.
because Sweden can still play the same shot. There's plenty of curl, and that guard is really high.
well, they've had a little bit of a sighter with their first, or with the last stone. So expect Camilla to be a little bit closer with this one.
Aldrig röra! Aldrig röra!
Ooh,
Oh, well, I think Par caught Camilla out a little bit there by shouting sweep, and she kind of stumbled and burned the stone there. These things happen.
Va?
Tryck upp den.
Men aldrig. Då tänker man, nu är man ju lite för långt ifrån och så kommer det till ja.
Ja, men jag tänkte då vi drar den
Ja.
ner till den här då. Förbi den.
I'm not sure it was going to be much good anyway, but
Ja, zeker.
Så play med här för det.
it's looking hard for the Swedes right now.
Well, at least they're only lying one against at the moment. And I think we're just going to see a better guard go on here with Michel Gribi's final stone of this sixth end.
Nu går förut, bra tid.
Well, it's taking a very wide line. Doesn't want to line up this red.
Just sweeps it in the last moment.
Well, you know what? They might have actually taken off a shot for Sweden being over there. I think if I was partner in, I'd be trying to run that red corner guard in, but they're so
definitely
wide. They're so wide that they've actually covered that shot. So
is there even a shot to score here?
Alltså, träffen kan vi få.
the only way that they're going to be able to score is if they can get stone going into the pocket between the two red stones at the back of the forefoot to then spring across and push the yellow on the button out the right hand side of the forefoot as we look at it there, or the left hand side now.
Mindre. Mindre.
I don't know if there is an option to get in there. It might. Oh, it's tough. Really tough.
Really tough.
Maybe their only shot to score is to raise the long yellow guard up onto the red and then into the pocket and then hopefully spin the yellow sideways out the forefoot. Not a gimme, that's for sure.
Well, last one of the sixth end. And it's been such a turnaround for Switzerland in this game. Such a left. But, well, his shooter is rolled out to the side, so Reto Grebe can come in off it, just tap it back a little bit. Of course, he can't remove it. And it was Hungary scored 2 in the sixth end in the bronze medal game. It is still Spain with a 2-point lead, though. They're up 5-3, and they have Hammer in the seventh end. And that is a really nice shot by Reto Grebe. He's really found his form.
Oh, he's been absolutely terrific, hasn't he? He's had his wobbles in other games, but it seems absolutely on his game. And think back to the fourth end when they were trailing by 5-1, and Reto was still having a little smile and a laugh with the cameras and stuff. And you know what? Sometimes it's that mentality you're rewarded with, and Switzerland have bounced back with 5 shots unanswered. Don't write off Sweden quite yet, though.
Oh, but maybe this shot, which is well heavy from Camilla.
Well, I just wonder if that mistake in the previous end where she burnt the stones got to her a little bit. Important to keep her head up and not get despondent. There's a gold medal on the line here.
Lang schon, wir haben noch 12 Minuten, das ist gut.
Hä?
Zeit lang schon.
Zum Shot all second.
Ich bin mir nicht sicher, wenn ich ehrlich bin. Ich würde mir sagen, dass sie nicht mehr als 2 machen können, ganz sicher. Das Problem ist einfach, wir müssen schnell das Timeout nehmen. Das Problem ist, wenn wir einen Grad nehmen, ist es ziemlich safe.
Immer noch von einer Seite drauf, oder? Finde ich da gut.
Oh, they're in pretty good shape here, the Swiss. Well, only 11.5 minutes left for the Swiss to complete this 7th end and of course the 8th. Should be plenty of time.
Einfach nicht gerade.
Ja, sonst nimmst du lieber ein bisschen raus. Nimmst du lieber raus.
Sweden currently sitting at 13 minutes and 10 seconds.
None of the teams think in a hurry. 46 minutes in total is what they have each to finish the game.
No, makes the double.
Nice call to get rid of some reds. Even if they give up a score of 1 or even 2, it's still going to look really good for them. So
yeah, and they know that Sweden have a lot of work to do here. Those yellows lined pretty much perfectly onto that back red too.
yeah, definitely. So Sweden's going to play the run back now. Remember, they're running a yellow one in here, so it's not ideal.
Well, all Sweden can do here is really start to rumble things around and just try and get a score on the board. They've not scored since the third end. Can't really afford to give away more steals.
This one really curling, needs to hit something in the rings.
Well, that's not the one they need to move. And the red goes at the back as well.
Yeah, the shooter stays.
Ja?
Well, I think Panarin and Camilla Johansson can see this unraveling before their eyes. And they can't really do too much about it. This is Panarin's third effort in a row to win the World Mixed Doubles final. Of course, as a player in 2012 in Erzurum, getting the silver medal there, then again as the coach last year. So hoping that the third time's a charm, but Switzerland firing on all cylinders at the moment. Well, a good guard there by Michelle Grebe. So interestingly, is although Switzerland have had so much success at the mixed doubles, having won the competition 4 times, they just had their first qualification event this year, and they've still produced a very, very strong team in the Grebes. Likewise, Sweden have a qualification event as well that you played in, Sarah?
I did. I lost to these two.
Well, there's no shame in that based on what we've seen this week. Well, again, just misses the run back in the same spot.
Yeah, Panarin and Camilla Johansson actually playing Ingrid Meldal in that final. She was in the seniors. A lot of teams came to play. And, well, they were just outstanding. In trouble here now, though.
Well, I think the shot would be just to play a guard. However, I've got a feeling that Reto Grebe indicated that he wanted Michelle to draw the edge of the button here.
Ooh, I'm not sure about that. If you're ever not just edge of the button and you leave Panarin a double to score one, I think he would be pretty happy.
Well, the key to good strategy is to play easy shots and force the opposition to play the hard ones. Switzerland electing a hard one themselves.
Just this is the only way that you leave Sweden a chance. But have they?
I think this is just gonna have to be a nose hit to give up one. That yellow store at the top of the button is going absolutely nowhere.
Those are the exact words coming out of Panarin at the moment.
Ja, men den här ryker ju på chans.
Ja.
Den där flyger ju på skatt.
Okej, vi gör det.
Måste spela så här då.
Ja.
Yep, nose hit to lose one is the call.
Yeah, they don't really have too much option here, but this is an absolute must-make for Pernerin. Don't want to go more than 2 shots behind coming home. Oh, he's hit this on the wrong side and
Bra Per.
gets rid of 2 yellows. It's going to be a steal of 2 though here in the 7th end. And is this one just starting to get away from Sweden? It's now Switzerland 8, Sweden 5. 1 end to come.
Ja. Das ist Bälle gespielt.
Ich sage, einen schönen Fies machen.
Du musst einfach schnell aufmachen.
And here you see the prize that they're all competing for.
Yeah, there was 34 teams at the start of the week and we're down to 2.
No problem.
And it looks like
It's
it's
okay.
Switzerland's game to lose. 8 shots unanswered since the start of the 4th end.
Zeit, Reto, ich sehe es nicht.
Just reeling them off. 2-2, 1, and then a 2 in the 7th end there. And Sweden
Okay.
having to score 3 to even just get an extra end here. Stranger things have happened in mixed doubles.
Well, you're right. I think it's going to be difficult now, though.
Well, Michelle Greeby playing 59%, but she has made a couple of absolute beauties along the way. So, update from the bronze game. 2 goes on the board in the 7th end for Spain. And they now lead Hungary, the defending champions, by 7 shots to 3. Spain on the brink of their first ever medal at World Championship level. So I'm sure that would just be a massive thrill for Sergio Vez and Ransu Garcia, not to mention Spanish curling.
På den sidan eller?
Came so close a few years ago in Chelyabinsk, finishing 4th, but looking like they might go 1 better here in the Ice Bowl in Dumfries.
Pernerin way below his normal percentages. He's been close to the 80s in most of the games. But he's had a couple of very difficult ones with his last. He's been fairly good with the first one.
Ja, ja, kom igen. Det är bra riktning. Bra riktning.
Well, he's put a good one here though.
Yeah,
Perfect.
great angle.
Leaves
Remember,
a,
Sweden need 3 to take this game to an extra.
leaves a perfect angle on that red-yellow combination at the top of the forefoot. So,
Switzerland still not allowed to play a takeout.
Du bist nicht
so
schon.
what do you do here?
Oder einmal so aufmachen. So.
Can't really tick the guard, or you might just risk setting up 2 corner
Darfst
guards.
aber noch nicht.
Timeout.
Might call a timeout here.
Vielleicht schnell. So bleiben wir soft peeling ist auch ein
Looks
bisschen
like an in-turn draw might be the best option to me.
Okay, mit den einen
Und du kannst ja
Schuss.
da so, das geht ja auch.
Gut.
Nur da ein bisschen mit rein.
Ja.
Aber einfach nur die Line.
Jupp.
Well, I thought they called a timeout there, but apparently not. Reto Greeby having a super game, playing 76%. He's been on fire
Für den lang.
since they fell behind early on.
Yeah, once they started catching up, they really just got a big boost from that and kept growing into the game. Been pretty flawless ever since.
Well, a a little bit fortunate perhaps to roll their shooter away. There's always the danger they could stick their two yellows side by side.
Yeah, getting a better angle with the yellow that he pushed to the side though.
No.
Well, they're going to have a difficult job getting rid of that yellow stone at the top of the 4 foot, or the Swedes. So that's what they need to start to work out.
Yeah, they're going to angle freeze this on the other side. They could come down on the in turn and start tapping this already. Leave 3 reds around. Try and get the backing, well, back a bit so that the yellow is set free. And 58% for Camilla. It's also a bit below where we've seen her during the week, but she's also had some tricky shots. They have elected a couple of difficult shots rather than the easy ones. Calling this one short as well. They really need to get stones in the rings.
Well, that's not a good shot from Camilla, and you can see the frustration on her face. Well, timeout's been called here by Switzerland, and Canadian Al Moore making his way out.
Also wir sind second. Und er, ich glaube schon dort hinten dran, oder sieht man das?
Der einzige, den du jetzt kannst, ist über Karte Double.
Okay, right now we really don't want to just do anything with those.
Yeah.
But they've got the angle on that one, so I would just peel this guard off here and roll out.
Roll, which one? Wait.
Either or
So go like this?
yeah, because
And like this is nothing. I think this is probably the best shot because...
I just prefer to take it here and not on the outside one.
you don't want to get it onto any...
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
No, we just take it, go like this.
Just go on the center line, like this.
Then we don't really have to open it as long as we're
They
staying in
they
there.
have to open it to get a chance at that.
Okay.
So we let them, we can leave those
And-
three.
and
red,
only the
yellow,
guard is
red, We
nothing.
can leave that. Leave the red, yellow, red all day long because they can't do anything with that.
Oh,
Okay? We'll take out any other
You want to
stones we
play a
see.
guard, it's not just
only
peel
the
this
guard
one
is
off.
nothing.
You could play a guard between those two, but then if they make a raise, we're in trouble. So I'd like to get rid of that.
Okay,
stone.
Yeah.
get rid of it. Perfect.
Well, I think this sounds pretty wise from
Får jag nosa?
Al Moore.
Kontrollerat.
He knows
Yeah,
that
you know,
Sweden
man.
have so much work to do in the house, and that
That's
they're
right.
basically going to have to open things up a little bit if they want to have any chance of getting rid of that yellow stone at the top of the button. The danger stone could be this guard on the right hand side of the sheet, the red stone just in front of Michelle Greby's left foot, because Sweden could angle that then onto the yellow stone or even onto the red and kind of move things around a little bit. So Reto Greby just wants to take that option away.
Ja! Ja!
Oh, really curling this.
Can't afford to hit the outside of the stone here. Oh, he does, but gets a slice of luck.
Yeah, it really does.
Wow.
That's it. Crazy.
Well, it does the job essentially, because the stone's now yellow instead of red.
Yeah, running that in won't really do Sweden any good.
Well, Sweden just have 3 stones to come here, and they're going to need to do something pretty spectacular pretty quickly. Trailing it by 3.
And I would think they need to make a move on the red-yellow combination, but they're taking quite a lot of ice, so I don't think they're throwing a lot of weight on this.
Well, they don't have too much option here. They need to move these stones around at the top of the forefoot and try and set up some angles to get that yellow stone out of there.
Oh, and look at that one. Actually goes straight for the yellow one.
What a shot by Camilla Johansson, and maybe a lifeline here for Sweden. Terrific shot.
Yeah, that sure was a beauty. She did not see much of that. And they're electing the freeze here. Of course, there's not a lot of great options for Switzerland, but by not removing any of the reds, they could allow Sweden to get 4 stones in there.
Well, they could come on either handle here. It's quite a nice pocket for them to be able to freeze on the in-turn on their own yellow. But maybe they can get in and lie in shot position off this hand. You certainly wouldn't expect Reto Greeby to be too far away with this one. He's made pretty much everything today.
Goed. Richtige
Okay,
step.
richtig, oder?
Zinnig gelijk. Wow, 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 wow.
Länge gut.
Ja.
Länge
Wow,
gut.
wow, wow.
Länge hoch. Länge hoch.
Mooi is het.
Calling the weight to be good.
Achtung.
He should be close.
Zinnig
Länge
gelijk
hoch,
op.
länge hoch, länge hoch.
Oh, looks very good.
Zie je.
Has he got stuck in between the two? He has. Well, this is really turning into a great chance for Sweden. This is going to be the absolute key. They set up the chance with Johansson's last stone. They've now got to walk through the door they just opened and make this hit and roll onto the button. It's a big chance, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Just judging on how this end looked just a couple of stones ago, you didn't think that that was possible. And they have called a timeout as well to bring coach Mikael Andersson down. I think there's really only one call.
So I was told yesterday by one of the players, Adrian Mikkel, that the travel time is 30 seconds to the near end and it's 60 seconds to the far end. So Mikael Andersson slowly making his way down the ice and giving his players some time to have a chat about it.
Å andra sidan, om vi ligger liksom här, att vi ändå redan, för vart ska de?
Time really isn't too much of a problem. They've got 5.5 minutes left on the clock.
Sten ligger här. Kan de slå? Om man ligger dikt mot. Slår de då kommer man ju sitta i den. Och samtidigt så drar de en halv rasslig sten här. Då kan ju vi smälla på
Confirmation. So the timeout is now underway and the clock starts running again.
Och gaddar de den här, då har vi faktiskt den.
Well, maybe you can tell from the screams in the arena, but Spain have just won their first World Championship medal ever. Sergio Vez and Iranzu Garcia defeating Hungary by looks like 7 shots to 4. And Spain will win the bronze medal.
Ja, den vägen finns ju. Om vi spelar den här farten, men stannar han upp sån här frysningen är helt okej.
Okay.
Well, Pärnaren just wanting to discuss the freeze. I think they should tap back. Don't risk, like, if Switzerland were ever to put them in trouble with some sort of guard, like, then they lose the game. They don't have a shot. So I definitely think they should push this yellow one back a bit and make sure that they sit to and bury them.
Yeah, absolutely agree, Sarah. There's no point in overcomplicating this. Just a quiet weight, just a back ring weight, just push that yellow through, roll over onto the one on the button, and that would really put Switzerland in a tough spot.
Yeah, this is maybe just making it a bit more difficult.
Oh, she's a little bit heavy, that might not be too bad.
Well, they were playing it to tap it, so... Oh, beauty again from Camilla Johansson.
Welcome back, Camilla. You went missing for a few ends there, but coming up with a couple of huge shots here in this 8th end.
I don't think, well, Switzerland looking at this double, I think their yellow one on the right is just going to serve as a catcher.
Jo, aber sie genau da, was sie müssen.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Swiss have even got a tough job cutting Sweden to 3 right now.
Yeah, they need to make sure that they at least get the extra end.
Was macht denn?
Also wir machen einfach schnell einen Take-Out. Wenn du den da nimmst und den da.
Ich habe einfach das Gefühl, der liegt näher auf dem drauf.
Ja,
und wenn wir einen Grad nehmen, ist auch sehr schlecht.
Wenn wir einen Grad nehmen, kann er immer noch 3 machen. Oh, jetzt hast du es wieder.
I think if I was them, I'd be looking at making a play off this red on the tee line, furthest right of the picture.
Nein, nicht einfach für ihn.
Ich frage mich einfach, ja, wir nehmen nicht gleichzeitig unsere
Make a play
beiden
off
Gelben
there
weg,
and at
wenn
least
wir
get a
noch
stone
blöd
onto the button and make Sweden play a shot at least.
Oh, nein, ist
The one
gut.
thing you don't want to do is just leave them an open takeout on the yellow on the other side of the forefoot
Oder nur den.
to put 4 on the board.
Gut.
Wenn du sagst,
Oder
es geht,
schon mal
dann
legen?
geht's. Nein, dann finde ich es gut. Aber geht der rot raus?
Nein, der bleibt schon hier. Aber wir haben den immer noch besser. Also nur so ist gut.
What an
Thanks.
exciting conclusion we've got here in this gold medal game. It's all come down to this. And Switzerland with a 3-shot lead and all sorts of bother
So,
here in this 8th end.
Oder von innen.
wie
I'd say
schnell?
they haven't done a massive amount wrong here in this last end. It's just
Nochmal
a
Hat
couple
er
of
nicht gesagt, wir sollen eher den Händler spielen?
complete
Pass auf.
pistols
Nein, ist
from
gut.
Camilla Johansson that's generated this chance for Sweden. So I'm not sure what the eventual call was. Looks like they might be playing off that wide red, as we suggested.
There they are. I think they were talking about just sitting next to the button and making it hard. And well, I think they did quite a good job. It's not going to be easy to score 3, but I do believe that there's a shot there.
Well, I don't know. What is it? Is it just a tap? Is it just a straight tap on the yellow, or can they get around the guard and make a play on the top red? I don't think they can.
No, it doesn't really look like they can.
Looks like they need to just squeak past that red stone at the top of the forefoot. And even still, is the nose...
I don't like, because they can't really move that back red a lot either.
Well, I'm just wondering if they get to the nose of that Yellowstone, is it out counting the yellow on the other side?
Oh, you're right.
They might have to run the centre guard back here.
Ja, i annat fall är det att skicka den där då.
Ja, jag håller på att fundera på... Vi orkar inte...
Great shot there by Michelle Grebe.
Det går väl inte?
Ja, jag vet inte. Den ligger ju på den sidan och det är inte så långt emellan.
Nej.
Men annars är ju den där. Är ju faktiskt...
Vi tar vi kvar då. 2 år sedan.
Well, Sarah, perhaps you can enlighten us as to what the
Tredje sten.
Swedish duo are discussing at the moment.
Well, they're not saying a whole lot, to be honest. They're just looking. And I think, well, they were talking about running the guard down. They're not sure that they can get third shot by coming up to nose of that yellow. And I don't really think they can.
It certainly doesn't look like it from here, but as we said before, this camera
men vi
isn't
måste ha
directly over the
3.
middle of the rings.
Ja. Vi lär ju
I
spela
think
här.
the only option really is to run that centre guard back
Når du
onto
mål!
the right hand side
Når du
of that
mål,
red
Sean!
and hit it onto the yellow. That would give them the angle that they need to get onto the button for 3.
Ja, lite mer.
Well, it sounds easy, but they just need to hit that Yellowstone on the nose and that'll do it. Then they can get their 3.
Last one of the game, perhaps. Or is it going to be enough for Sweden to get an extra end? Absolutely nothing on the sweeping.
Needs to curl
They're
a
close.
fraction.
Oh, but it won't be enough.
A terrific attempt there by Parnoren. But not good enough, and it's going to be 1 for Sweden and an 8-6 win for Switzerland. Switzerland are the world champions.
For the 5th time out of 7 attempts, I gotta say, Switzerland really knows mixed doubles curling. And tough for the Swedes. They were looking so good to start the game off, but Switzerland turned it around, made a great comeback, managed to win the game 8-6, and they are world champions. Spain got the bronze medal, defeating Hungary 7-4. And well, we are very soon going to give you some highlights from this very exciting final, and of course an interview with the Swiss world champions. Gold medal game in the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship, and in the first end it was Sweden line 1 when Michelle Grebe played this run back to just pick it off the 1 foot, and Switzerland off to an early lead 1-0. In the second end, Camilla Johansson looking at this gap between the 2 reds. She plays a really nice draw to come in between and sit 2 on just back of the button. And Michelle Grebe, she tried to follow this draw down. Not an easy one to follow. Just pops it a little bit and actually pushes this red one all the way in to the 1 foot as well, and it'll be a score of 3 for the Swedes. In the third end, it was again Camilla Johansson with out turn takeout that managed to remove both of these yellows, and it later allowed Sweden a steal of 2 that took them to a 5-1 lead. Then in the fourth end, Reta Grebe comes with the out turn draw. Of course, they're trailing 4 points, so they need to pick up a couple, and he makes a great one that later allowed them to get their 2. So, second half of the game, Michelle Grebe, she is playing this tap, makes it beautiful to light 2. And then Norén is going to make the double off this wide yellow to score 1. He will just be a little too wide on that hit, and it's a steal of 2 for Switzerland to even the game up at 5 each. So then sixth end, it was Reta Grebe on a freezing mission again. He makes this absolute beauty come around, and They ended up stealing a point to actually lead the game. Went on and put so much pressure on the Swedes in the 7th end. Panarin attempting a double to lose only 1. Overcurls a fraction, loses 2, and it's Sweden trailing by 3 points with 1 end to go. So in the 8th end, Sweden needs to score 3 to take the game to an extra, and they're lying really well after a couple of nice shots by Camilla. When Michelle Grebe plays this enough, that only leaves Panarin this run back. He comes pretty close to making it, but will tap one of his back. It will not be enough to win the game, and Switzerland will be world champions after defeating Sweden 8 shots to 6.
Congrats, guys. Reto and Michelle, congratulations. You are the 2014 World Mixed Doubles Curling Champions. How do you feel?
Pretty good, yeah. Just can't, yeah. Super. Awesome.
It's great, it's awesome. We need a little bit time, yeah.
Was there a key moment in the match that felt really swung the game in your favour?
I don't know, maybe just the second half of the game. We could play there really our games. We got the shot to the bottom, and so yeah, it was pretty good in the second time, yeah. Second.
This is the 5th time in 8 years that Switzerland has won the World Championships for mixed doubles curling. What makes Swiss people so good at this format?
Good question. I don't know. Maybe they practice a lot for this one, or I think a big one is the coach, Al Moore. He's pretty good. I think it's the 3rd time here. I don't know. Maybe yeah. I think it comes a lot from the coach. Yeah.
Okay, and finally, maybe a few words for your Swedish opposition, who are obviously going to be disappointed after their loss.
Yeah, I think they played really good. So we just, at the end, we could see it. It was just, 1 stone. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations, you're the world champions.
Thank you.